I'm a big boxing fan. First and foremost, before anything else, I'm a big. Well, it's not just boxing. It's just anything fighting, anything
Right.
martial arts. I'm a
Yep.
big fan. I grew up with karate and the typical stuff. I did a little bit of boxing, but nothing serious. Just to see. Every kid.
Yeah.
I grew up in the De La Hoya era with
Right.
Tito, all those people.
Everybody was fighting. Everybody was fighting back in the day.
So you already know how that was in the house. So
yeah,
I was,
exactly.
everybody gets that bug. I'm not no fighter though. That's one thing I learned from trying. I was like, you could be quick, you could have fast hands, you could be all that shit, but you need a little bit more than that to be a fighter.
Yeah, you definitely do. I say it all the time, and people agree with me. You gotta be a little fucked up in the head to get in there.
Bro.
And, yeah.
A little bit, bro, because it's you have to be willing to hurt people or get hurt.
Yeah.
One of those two things. Like,
well, that's the thing too. When you get in the ring, or I mean any type of sport, you gotta be already prepared to say, listen, it's a fight. You're gonna get hit regardless of something. Exactly. So
kill or be killed.
Rather the other guy than me.
That's the mindset that you have to have if you're gonna be a fighter.
Yeah.
When I tried it out and I was feeling myself with it, I realized I'm like, I am not okay with hurting people. I was like, this is a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's just. Sometimes, it's just me growing up. That's the environment that I've always been in. Like you said, just kill or be killed. So.
Did you grow up in a boxing family? Is that?
Yes and no. I mean, my grandfather. I mean, a lot of people know this. My grandfather is a huge boxing fan. He watches boxing from like 25 years ago. Today, you know what I'm saying? He has recordings.
He's still around?
Yeah, he's in his 80s now. Him and my great grandmother. But even as a kid, like when I used to live with him, I lived with him when I was 3 years old, and we used to always just sit there and watch boxing. That's his thing, every day. That's all he's watching.
That's what's up, brother. Yeah, I mean, boxing is a tough sport. There's not many people get into it for that reason. That's why, especially nowadays,
Right.
Before it was like everybody, it felt like, especially in Lowell. Lowell is a fighting town. We have a fighting history.
Yep.
We go back to the
West End back in the day was jumping. That's where everybody was.
Yeah, it was Mickey Ward and all of them were coming from.
Yep.
Was that a big influence for you, like that era of fighting, or no?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, it didn't have. Yeah, it was always cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about the whole Mickey Ward story and shit like that. And I've actually trained with Dickie for a little bit when I was younger. Okay. But it wasn't really something that motivated me to start
fighting.
But it's cool to chase now. You know what I mean? I got, I'm trying to chase Mickey Ward now. I'm trying to do everything that he did and more. So.
When did you start boxing? Was it early, or was this like something new for you?
I mean, that's kind of hard to explain. I try to explain it like the simplest way that I can usually. I started boxing in the ring, competing 22 years old. Was my first time. And my first fight was in the Golden Gloves.
Oh, wow, that's a little late, isn't it? For most people.
Yeah, that's really late. But I've been fighting my whole life. You can
ask in the gym.
Well, yeah, in the gym, I was always fighting. I was a problem always.
And the streets everywhere. Yeah,
school, streets, wherever.
I wanted to ask you. There's a video on YouTube about a street fight, and it has you for whatever reason is tagged to you.
Really?
Yeah, and I always wanted to ask.
It's
a street fight,
yeah,
and you're a little bit bigger though.
Dude, yeah. There's so many fights on the internet with me. Like,
so that is you.
My mind. Yeah, that's me. I was scrolling. Actually, it wasn't that video. It was a different one. It was late. I was on Facebook just scrolling. And I came across one of those like street fighting compilation whole like page. So it's late, bro. It's like 2 a.m. I'm just scrolling, I come across this video, and I watched the whole video. The whole video, it was a dope video. I'm like, it caught my attention from the start. That last video, bro, was me.
Oh, wow.
It blew my mind.
Wow, you were on the video that you were watching.
It blew
and
my
didn't even
mind.
know.
I ran up to my girl. I'm like, babe, look at this, look at this. She's sleeping. She's like, I'm like, yeah, that shit was crazy. But you know, that was the reputation I had before I even started boxing.
So you always just been a fighter. You always into it.
Always. I don't know what it is. It's just I just always loved it.
Was it your parents? Did your dad have? I know your grandfather.
My dad definitely had a big part of that, because when I was younger, I was a gentle kid. You know what I mean? I didn't have my pops till I was like 10 years old. So he came into my life, and he kind of molded me into the man I am today. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
he taught me, you know, stand up for everything you believe in. You know what I'm saying? And once that comes, you know, your mouth comes, and then when your mouth goes, your hands gotta go.
Especially, you know, here, growing up below,
growing up around here, and all the kids that I had problems with back in the day were actually in the West End gym.
So they were.
So that was a no-go for me. I couldn't go there.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I started at he brought me to a place called Blazing Sun. It was like a Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, all types of things. They had different classes. They had a wrestling class, boxing class, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, and all that shit. So I was going there when I was in middle school, and that was just something I did. I always went to the boxing classes. I hated the wrestling. The BBJ, but I learned a good amount when I was in there. So
from back then,
and you know,
it's big now,
brothers
but back then,
and shit. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling around. So I know what I'm doing down there. But I was always a stand-up guy. So
striking.
Yeah.
It looks better.
I want to hurt you standing up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, I appreciate all the arts.
I do too. I love them. I love them. All the UFC fights. You know, you sit there with everybody. It's exciting, especially when you know people that are fighting.
Exactly. That changes everything.
Oh, that changes everything. Yeah.
I didn't know much people. To this day, I don't know a lot of fighters.
Yeah.
But I started getting into it when you started popping up. Because if you're not in the game or you're not paying attention in the area, you wouldn't know.
Exactly.
So I didn't know for years.
Yeah.
There was, there's
a whole boxing scene around here.
MMA
I didn't either until I went and saw somebody fight that I know, just to support one of his amateur fights. And then ever since then, I was just like, yo, I could beat every single one of these kids right now. I was like, I'm getting into this.
Without training, without...
Well, yeah, I felt, but obviously I was...
Yeah.
I was,
everybody feels that way.
that's how you feel. And then, you come to realize, but that's how I felt, you know what I mean, watching these people. I'm like, yo, I could do this.
Yeah, I mean, you thought you could do it in your head, and then you had to, work.
Yeah.
Because everybody has that feeling. At least every male has this... I could fuck somebody up.
Right.
And then
it's a big difference from a street fight.
Yeah.
And a fight in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference.
And if you're fighting a train.
And the street fight's what? 30 seconds tops?
Max. And you don't even get to throw hands really.
It's two people that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
You end up on the ground and it's not what people think. What you think in your head is like, oh yeah, I'll do this and I'll do that, and it does not go that way. Yeah, no, I get that. I like I said, I went to the gym and I learned by going to the gym. It's like, fighting's not for me.
It's like that for a lot of people, bro. It's not just you. You know, it takes a different type of person to get in there in front of mad people and put their manhood on the line. Because a lot of the times it don't end well.
Yeah, no, and that's a whole different ballgame. I didn't get to that point. I was just in the gym and the save. You know what I'm saying? Right away I was like, okay, this is different. So I can't even imagine in front of people, thousands of people, and also the buildup. Like the nerves. Yeah, how do you deal with that?
You get used to it. I think now I just go through it now. But in the beginning, like you'll be driving like the week of, and for some reason my whole leg will just be bouncing for no reason because you're just thinking about it and your heart's pounding. So I mean, now I'm at the point where it's just a regular day for me. I just sit back and I can chill. Like before, I'm always like in the back, you're standing up, moving around. Everyone's telling you, yo, sit down, relax. You know, so
yeah, but it's hard.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. You know, you're going out there in front of people and trying to, and it's for me in the beginning it wasn't more of fighting that got me nervous. It was performance anxiety, I think.
Which a lot of people,
because I know what I can do
in the
gym. It's all about showing it that night.
Do you have a problem with that? Like, I know a lot of.
I do, but like I said, I think this fight and like the last fight, I was prepared to fight that guy that was 5-0, and I felt like I was gonna dog him. I was comfortable, you know what I mean? And that's how you have to feel going in. You can't go in there and feel.
Is that based on your training, or is that based just?
Nah, that's.
Confidence.
That's just who you gotta be, or who I am. Gotcha. You know, because a lot of people can train their balls off, and then when time comes, they're just they're fucked. They freeze their whole mind. You know what I mean?
You heard those stories.
Into their mind. I have a strong up here when it comes to getting prepared for war.
Yeah, no, and this is a whole you could play sports, you could do a lot of other things that put you on camera. You could do this, but it's not the same as fighting.
Nah, because in most sports, you're not in there with just yourself. You got teammates, 12 other guys, 5 other guys,
and not just that, you're not getting hurt. Like,
right,
you lose, whatever. You go home.
You're not physically going in there to the person's not going in there to hurt you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Boxing, it could be over.
It's different, but a lot of people are like, that's crazy, but not for me. It's just something I've always been doing.
You were born for this, basically.
Basically, it was definitely something that once I jumped in, it was like. As I said it before, it was like Cinderella putting on the slipper. It was like, perfect for me. It was perfect for me. Fits. And everybody says it. Yeah, they were like, great. You got the attitude for it. You got the mindset. You got the heart for it. And like I said, I've always been known to be a scrapper. So
when did you, since you were always known and you would do it on the street, what happened that said, you know what, I'm taking this serious. I'm gonna try to make some money out of this and go professional?
I think it was more, when I had my son, that changed a lot, obviously. Everybody knows that. But when I started to realize that I can do this pro and start making money was when I got in the ring with professionals. I was getting in the ring with professionals, and I was holding my own. So, and a lot of people, like every time I got in the ring and I sparred, because I was brand new to the game. Like, I was new to the scene. Like, I've only been in the boxing world for, 5 years now. And
right now, all still these only
people,
5
all
years?
these people that everyone talks about now, like all these local pros, they've been in the game for forever, and everybody's known them. And then I come out, and they're like, who the heck is this kid? And then I get in the ring, and then they're like, this kid looks like he's been... And then I tell people all the time, like... after I spar, they'll come over, oh, how many fights you got and all that shit, man. I'm like, bro, I only had 10 amateur fights. I only had 10 amateur. I never went open. So in boxing, in amateur boxing, I don't know if you know this, but there's novice, which is under 10 fights, and then there's open, which is 10 and above. Once I got to 10, is kind of where COVID hit. And just the whole amateur shit was slow. And then professional boxing was the only thing going on, but they had their tight restrictions. And then we were just like, you know what, let's do it, whatever. And I had the skill already. And now it's been almost 2.5 years now, because I just had a memory come up of my second fight, I think. So a little bit over 2 years I've been in the game now. So now I'm right where I need to be.
Real young, man. Like, in the game. Like, you're
3
years in, and you have 7 fights going on your 8th fight.
Yeah, there's people that they jump in, they have way more than me. I feel like I'm
Behind?
definitely behind.
Wow.
There's a lot of kids out here that we start, or some, like, one person started after me and has more fights than me right now. And that's just because, these kids have been in the game so long that promoters had their eyes on them since
Oh,
they were
wow.
kids. You know what I mean? And when I came in the game, I had to prove myself. I had to, none of these promoters knew who I was. So I had to show up. My pops had to get in a dude's ear and just hound him and hound him and hound him, and
So
then
you could
he
get your
put me,
chance.
yeah. So I could get my chance, and then I got my chance, and I just capitalized on it. And
You got a big buzz, man, for just the short amount of
but
time.
that's just, I mean, I get a lot of support around here because this is just my hometown. I've always been popular. I could have been doing whatever, and I could have had, I'm not trying to boast in them, but when you're a good person to people are, going to be a good person back. So I think I just set myself up perfectly, you know what I'm saying? Especially being around here. So
Do you think you have an advantage because you started late, or do you think you have a disadvantage?
I don't know. I think about that. I think about that all the time. Like, if I started younger, would I have the ambition I have now?
You might
I
have
don't
lost it,
know.
or people might have
Yeah,
gotten in your
because there's a
ear.
lot of people I know that were amateur boxers that they don't do it anymore. So I don't know if it was just timing. And I'm the type of person that think everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
So me starting late and all that, maybe it was for a
It was
reason.
for the best,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And when you're young and you start and you get coaches and all these people get involved, and they kind of, they shape you. They might
yeah,
shape. So with you came in later. You already had your own like your own head. You had your
yeah,
own
yeah.
passion. You know what you were doing.
I knew, yeah. And when I first stepped into a gym, I already knew the basics. My pops have been was teaching me, ever since I was a kid.
Kid, yeah.
So he was teaching me the basic combinations that I would always throw. So
Your dad
that's
a big
why
fighter too?
yeah, yeah,
Street
yeah. He
fighting.
wasn't. Yeah, he was. Yeah, more of that.
Yeah.
He don't have that boxing experience. He got into some trouble when he was a kid, so he never had that chance. But um, he always taught me how to defend myself.
Key.
And he always knew how to defend himself. So that's and then when I first told him that I wanted to box, like, I really wanted to get into it because I've been in and out of the gym since I was a kid. I just never competed. He didn't really, he didn't really think I was gonna do it, and my thing was just to tell everybody. Like, when I first was getting into the Golden Gloves, I just wanted to tell everybody and kind of put that pressure on myself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
You didn't give
I
yourself
wanted
the
to
way
do
out.
it. I didn't give
Yeah.
myself
It's
no
like
way
I already,
out.
like you said in the
I
beginning.
told everybody
Yeah.
I could, and after a while, like, he didn't jump on board right away. It took weeks of me going and going and going, and then I think my mom got into his ear and was just like, "Yo, go make sure he's good."
Hey, this kid's serious. I don't know if you
And
know,
then,
but he's
yeah,
serious about this.
ever since then, he's just been
Been
my
supporting.
guy ever since. He's been on top of me ever since about it.
That's
So
what's
I
up.
think his passion for it helps me out and keeps me going.
That's what's up. You
Yeah.
you have do you have is your dad your coach, or do you have another person also?
I got multiple coaches. My pops is my main, I would say. He's the guy I'm always gonna consolidate with. You know what I'm saying? But I have multiple coaches. I got coaches that are always there when I need them. I got a strength and conditioning coach. I got all my coaches do pads, so I can do pads with any single one of them when I can. So you know what I mean. Usually the game plan is with my pops.
For
And
the fighter, which it
for
changes.
every fight that I'm going into, the game plan is with my pops and my strength and conditioning coach, Junior.
How do you guys come up with a game plan? Do you guys watch, the fighter and just...
anytime you get info, and it's kind of hard in the beginning stages to get film on these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because
they're not out there yet. So
yeah, everyone thinks like when you get into boxing, like you just go right for the top. Like it's not like that. You gotta build your way up.
It's tough.
You gotta prove that you can be in there. You know what I'm saying? So
and boxing to me it's tricky because you could be talented, you could be whatever you want, but everything has to align kind of at the same time.
Yeah, you gotta have a game plan with your whole team, and you guys gotta stick with it. So we got a good game plan. Anytime we get somebody, we look it up. Yup, his height,
Reach.
what he did in prior fights. Did he go the distance? Did he get knocked out?
Tendencies,
what round did he go down in? All this shit is things that people up there, in the world rankings look at. So you got to do the same thing because that's what we're trying to get. So, just anytime you can get film on them, you watch them, see what they do, tendencies, and that's the thing. And that's one thing that I love about boxing is you can always figure a way out. There's always something that you can do to get to somebody or defend, or you just got to be smart enough. You got to have that boxing IQ to be able to do it in the ring, and that's the thing that I love about boxing. You got to adjust. Not a lot of people can do that on a dime or under pressure.
Yeah, no, you can't be one-dimensional. In boxing, if you're gonna be great anyway.
Yeah, you got to know how to fight all types of ways.
What's your style? I know you are righty, right?
I'm a righty, but I switch it up.
So you could fight both stances.
Yeah, but that's something I do even at work. Like I'm ambidextrous. I can write with both hands.
So naturally already,
I can do all that. So I did boxing. Righty and lefty is just something that
came natural.
Just comes naturally, yeah.
Were you involved into like other sports before boxing? Baseball,
all that. Baseball, basketball, football. I was into all that. I was a big baseball.
Me too.
Yeah,
Dominican.
Little League was my childhood memories, right? Those are my real childhood memories. I won the city. I was in the city champions. Won the city championship 3 times for the city.
Nice.
So in Little League around here, there's how there's multiple parks. There's Callery. There's Shed Park. So Hadley. all the champions from
the areas.
All those parks have a tournament.
Yep.
And my team won 3 times in a row every time I was in it. So we always, and still to this day, I have good relationships with a lot of the people I played baseball with back in the day in Lowell. So,
baseball was everything for me.
Baseball, yeah, I loved it back in the day. I played infield. I played everywhere other than. I didn't pitch. I had a strong arm, but I wasn't accurate.
The control, yeah.
Yeah, I never played first base, but I played second, short, third. Was a catcher for a little bit. Did all that.
That's what's up. Where are you from? What nationality? I know you're from here, but your parents.
I'm Puerto Rican and Irish mostly. My pops.
The blood. It's in the blood too. Puerto Rican people in boxing goes hand in hand.
And Irish
too. Conor McGregor, all of them.
My pops
bro,
is
you're a warrior.
My pops is 100%. My mom's 50. My mom's half of both. She's Puerto Rican and Irish.
Oh man, that's a crazy combination right there.
Yeah. My mom's a scrapper too.
Yeah.
So it's just in my blood.
You grew up. You have brothers?
I got 2 brothers and a sister.
Older, younger?
Younger. I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay. So they got you were the big man in town protecting everybody.
Yeah, but my little brothers are bigger than me.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is. Yeah. They got it in there. They got the good genes.
Yeah, all the little brothers
I have to have my edge some way.
It's always like this. The little brother is always physically bigger, but the older brother is always mentally tougher.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's always my kids. I got 2 kids, and it's the same thing. My little one is a menace, but he's big. He's gonna be bigger than the big brother. But the big brother is just tough and smart.
Yeah. That's the thing. My little brother, the middle one, he's a problem.
He's more wild too.
6 feet. Oh yeah, he's on that type of time. I've always had to be sharp. Around him growing up, you know.
How's your how did you decide on your weight class? You fight at 135, correct?
Yeah. That was just when I got into the sport, I just started losing weight.
And because on the video I saw for the street fight, you were big.
I used to weigh 185. I think it was like the most I ever got.
That's big.
And that was in high school. I'm 5'7" right now. So yeah, I was big, but I always moved my weight good. I was also a running back. I was a linebacker in high school.
You got good footwork.
I always had good footwork. So when I got into boxing and after I got out of high school, I don't know, the pounds just started coming off, and it was just, I think where my height is the perfect.
That's
kind of the perfect weight class. I'm at 135, but and I was talking to a promoter and my coaches the other day. The lower I go, the easier it's gonna get to get ranked.
Oh yeah, for you, yes.
So I know I can get to 130 because I fought 130 before.
I
fought 130 before.
Didn't you win a championship or something?
Yeah, I won the belt. I won an ABF belt at 130, and that was tough to get to. But I feel like if I get a nutritionist
team
and a whole focus. Team like. You know, I live in a Puerto Rican household, so my mom's cooking penne and fucking rice right now as we speak.
I know.
So I had to get up. That's why I got up and went to the gym this morning, so I can eat later. I haven't ate all day. I won't eat. That'll be the only thing I eat all day, you know, because of what it is.
Man, I respect that a lot when it comes to fighting. I think there's weight cutting.
You walk into my house, it's just it's bad.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. Weight. I mean, shit, I've been battling my weight for a while, even though I'm not boxing or anything like that. But it's tough. So I could just imagine what it takes. And to perform kind of depleted is, you know, that's one thing I always, because it's one thing when the weigh-ins.
That's the thing. Like a lot of these guys, when they come in at 135, they usually walk around at like 160. So they drop the weight just to get to 135, and then by the fight time they're at 150 already.
Yeah,
you know, like Devin Haney and all those guys, all those guys.
Yep.
Like when I was in the ring when I sparred with Jermaine Ortiz, he's a big boy. Yeah. When I sparred him, he was at least 160 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
You know,
that's a lot of weight.
And me, I walk around at no more than 150, so I can't get more than 150, especially if I'm just constantly doing something, it'll work, whatever. That's my weight class. So.
And you're always fighting. So you how many times you fought? You know, as long as nothing happens and the fight happens, how many times a year you thinking of fighting? At least if you could.
If I could, I want to fight 4 times a year. I think
that's like the sweet
probably
spot.
Max. Yeah. You know, get 3 months. But or whatever, but you know, 3 or 4 fights a year would be straight for me.
So that you have to stay in that weight, so it's not that crazy when fight time comes.
Right. I mean, cutting weight's the worst. Nobody wants it. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, I can imagine as a fighter, that's probably one of the most
worst.
mental.
It's the worst thing about fighting. That's like you gotta have discipline like a motherfucker in order to cut that much weight. Like these UFC guys, they cut mad weight. I don't know how they do that.
That's one thing I see, and you know, I get it. Everybody's trying to get the advantage, whichever way you can, and also height has to do a lot with.
I think it's stupid.
It is.
I think it's dumb personally. Like I try to stay close, so I don't have to cut as much, and I can focus on my skills more than. I learned the hard way.
Patty, what's his name? Patty Pumblin or whatever his name is. He was just UFC guy. He was going up crazy weight, like all the way to like 200 pounds, but he fights like 145 or 150. I'm like
crazy. You're bugging. I could never do that. And then try to fight and feel comfortable.
Exactly. You have to know your body. You got to get used to it.
Yeah.
When in fighting, what do you think is your best tool? And I don't know if you could say that. You don't tell people that, but
I mean,
speed, power.
I don't know. I think at my weight class, the power, but I think everybody knows that.
I mean, that's you got 4 knockouts.
Four knockouts. I should have had more, but that was my inexperience so early. Like I tried to knock guys out early, and then when it wasn't working, that's when, so if I had a little more experience and then
pick your shots a little bit better.
My shots more, and I could have definitely got guys out of there. I could have got every single one that I fought out of there. But that just comes with experience.
With time, no, I get it.
But my power is my thing. But that's not something that I lean on.
You try not to rely too much on that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you can't.
How's defense for you? Do you worry about that? Is everybody pushing you?
No, my defense is good. That's something that my family pushes me on more than anybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
Protect yourself all the time.
Yeah, everybody. That's something we do. Like me and my pops. Anytime we end with pad work, he grabs the noodles when we do defense.
Because that's at least in this area, we got all these guys that came before, and they were all just dogs. They won't care about protecting themselves.
You try to talk to them now. You can't even have a conversation with these dudes.
Yes.
I'm trying to still, when I get out of the sport, still have my wits about me.
Correct.
Still be able to, have a.
You got kids.
Yeah. So I feel I'm not too worried about that. When you growing up, I played football. Football.
Yeah.
Football is, I think people say I'm crazy, but football is worse than boxing.
It is.
In boxing, you can defend yourself and you can not get hit.
Yes.
In boxing, in football, you're getting hit every single play, especially in the positions I played.
Running back and
linebacker.
Yeah. I mean, that's like getting in a car crash every time.
Yeah, there was like in high school, I would black out in the games, and I'd be I wouldn't even know what the fuck happened until the next morning when you at film.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. You play with concussions and all that shit, and when I got into boxing, I never ever felt like that after a sparring match or nothing. So I think football was worse. So, if I've been through that, I know I can do this, especially if I could protect myself.
And if you're smart, what I'm saying?
People think boxing is just going out there and wailing on dudes. Like, it's more intelligence. Because you can be, like, no matter how strong you are, it doesn't matter. If a dude's a better boxer, you're done.
He's going to take advantage of all the openings, and he's going to...
Yeah, I fought a lot of dudes bigger than me, like, in the ring and outside of the ring. Strength doesn't matter. If you know what you're doing.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to get your ass knocked out.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten hurt? Maybe not in a fight, of course, but
like stunned?
Yeah, like you're like, whoa. Like, or you might forget a few minutes of the fight or anything like that.
No, I remember every single second of every fight. But I've been stunned. I've been stunned. And anybody that tells you they haven't been stunned anytime they got into a fight is bullshitting you.
Yeah. How about practicing? Do you guys spar hard?
We spar? Yeah. We spar. My sparring is better. Like a lot of people would pay for the sparring more than they would pay for the actual fights. Because in the sparring, it's a doghouse, especially when we spar at my gym.
Everybody's just going all out.
Everybody, yeah.
How many fighters are you? Is there a lot of fighters in your gym, or?
There's
professional fighters.
There's 3 professional fighters, and then we have amateurs and stuff like that. So, our gym's a very active gym.
That's what's up. How does that work? When you in a gym, when you have professional fighters and then you have amateur fighters, when it's fight time for the professionals, is everybody helping? All hands on deck.
That's the thing. That's the issue that happens when you have that, because there's a lot of people in the gym that expect attention, but there's people, unless you're competing, you're not going to get the attention, especially at my gym. Like, you got to be serious about this and really down to compete. Like, even if you're an amateur, but if you're serious about it, then you're going to get that work. But like, I freaked out at the gym the other day because everybody was sparring, and this kid, good kid. He got no fights. He's an amateur, and I didn't mean to put him on blast. And then we had a little talk afterwards, but I looked at him and I was like, yo, like he's gearing up, and I'm like, all right, like yeah, you go, you ready to go? Like I'm gonna work with you. He goes, no, I'm not ready. Give me 2 weeks. And I'm like, my man, what are we in? And then I lost it. I'm like, yo, what are we in here for? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Like, is this a gym or is this a dance class?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you got to take the opportunity.
And I understand, and I understood. Like, I thought about it. I was hot, and I just went off on everybody that day. I was hot, but you know, I took a step back and I realized, like, you know, I can't put what I would do onto other people. Like, people are different.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit different than a lot of these people. Like, I get in there with anybody at any time. And nobody, and there's not really people that are built like that.
Yeah, that's something I learned also. You can't expect people to think like you or behave like you. Because if not, you wouldn't be you. That's what makes you different.
Exactly.
So when
just
gotta learn.
we you know, I took him back, and I told him, I was like, I put that pressure on you because, you know, I like you, because he thought I was doing it because I didn't like him, and I was like, and that kind of and that's how it is in my gym. Like, I feel like I've pushed a lot of people away, like I've scared a lot of people away just because of how I am, and I'm not gonna be soft with these dudes. Like, you got to be in boxing, like, yo, it's kill or be killed. In that ring, you're putting your life on the line at the end of the day.
Exactly. Might as well do it then. Do it in practice and do it in the fucking fight.
Get your ass kicked in sparring at home in front of all your people instead of going out there and embarrassing all your people.
Exactly. And plus, like you said, this is a tough sport. This ain't baseball.
This ain't a sport in my eyes. It's not a sport whatsoever. It's I don't even know what it is.
What is that good saying? You could play basketball, you could play baseball. You never say, I'm playing boxing.
I'm about to go play boxing. Like,
that's not. Nah. I'm about to fight, man.
Yeah, but, you know, it's just like I said, it just takes a different type of person, I guess.
Have you ever considered MMA? Have you ever thought of maybe making that jump and changing?
I think I could definitely do it. I think I would have fun with it, and I would definitely be entertaining. I think I'd have success in it, but I'm gonna just stay in my lane for right now. Maybe if when I'm done boxing and I want to have some fun, but yeah, I'm cool with it. I could do it. Like, I think I could surprise a lot of people with what I can do. I'm very athletic. You know, I could do all that shit.
I did see you with Rob Font. You were helping him out or something?
Yeah, it helped him with his fight with Adrian Yanz.
That's the last fight he had?
That was the last fight.
Yeah, it was crazy fight.
First round.
Yeah,
it was dope.
That's what's up. What are you thinking about the fights today? We got amazing MMA fights. We got a crazy boxing fight.
Yeah, I'm more focused on the boxing.
Of course.
But yeah, we got some good fights tonight. I'm definitely gonna be tuning in. I think the whole world is tonight.
Yes, I mean, we don't get fights like this in boxing all the time.
And now we're starting to get them.
I love it.
That's what boxing needs.
Who you got? Let's go for the prediction.
I got Crawford.
Yeah.
I think, like I said before, he could be strong. I think Spence is stronger.
He's bigger. But
I think Spence is stronger, obviously, but I think Bud got more skill. And I think if Bud can stay away from Crawford, I don't really see I don't see it getting stopped or anything. I don't see
nobody getting knocked out.
It's going the distance.
Yeah. I don't see nobody getting knocked out.
So, but my money's on Bud.
Yeah, Bud usually is a little bit lighter, right? He fights at a lighter weight. He's coming up
I believe
to fight Pence. It's going to be a very interesting fight. It's kind of, the same, that always dynamic of the bigger dude versus the skillful guy.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen it plenty of times. The skill is always going to
win.
So
but
I don't think
you never know. Like, this is boxing. People.
That's the beauty of it.
Days,
That's the beauty of it.
But Spence got a fighting chance. Spence, obviously, this is a 50-50 fight in everybody's eyes. But I just think Crawford got it.
Yeah, that's what my money is. My money is I'm going with Crawford.
Yeah. Spence been killing him though. In the
press conference. Yeah.
Sheesh.
How do you deal with that? Do you like, how is that for you guys? You guys understand? Like, listen, do you?
I mean, I haven't got to that point yet with anybody I'm fighting, but obviously there's people in the game that chirp. You just gotta.
What's your mentality towards that? Is like, I'm not even gonna fall into that.
It's just talk. It's just talk. Because at the end of the day, you got it when you whatever you say, you gotta back up when you get in that ring,
exactly,
or whatever when you get in the person's face, like whatever. But
it's part. I mean, it's promoting. You know, like, do you understand that? With like, or will you
it's promoting to a point. Like, you got to be respectful at any time. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of guys that say some crazy shit. But
especially...
You got but I haven't got to that point in my career where anybody's chirping. I kind of look forward to it because that's when it gets...
That's the best. That's the best. That's when emotions get involved. Yeah. And
I'm getting better now that I've been into the game. Like, before I was a hothead. You couldn't say nothing to me without me... reacting some type of way. You get some reaction out of me. Now I've dealt with it for so long now that it's just like I like it. It's kind of I'm starting to because I realize, like, yo, you got to get in the ring, bro. Like, you got to see me, bro. So
how tough would it be now, since you are a professional fighter now and you do this for a living? That'll be very tough for you to get into like a street fight now.
Nah, it's
you'll
easier.
Walk away.
It's easier now.
No, really?
It's easier now than ever before. And then, like, if anybody that knows you, like, I try to stay out the way, so I never really get into that.
No, but that's what I mean. Like,
but yeah,
you wouldn't react the same. I'm sure.
Like
back in the day, you're probably like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Like, now it's like
all day. Now it's just like, and that's why I started boxing too. It kind of tame a beast that was in me. Like, so
get that out of you.
Now it's just like I laugh. Like, anytime somebody has road rage, I'm dying laughing.
Yeah.
Like, before, I'm ready to get out the car and hurt you, but now I'm just laughing everybody off. And honestly, and I come to realize now, like, later in life, when you don't react, it makes
them look
worse.
Stupid.
Yeah,
they look stupid. You don't look
it's
stupid.
Worse.
They look stupid.
But I enjoy the games.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, for me, like, I don't, like I said, I don't box, but I do have gloves. I do hit the bag, just for if I'm having a bad day, as the best thing.
The best stress reliever.
I'm gonna go in there, put them some music, put the timer on for an hour, and for an hour, when I get out of there, you can't piss me off. Nothing can happen that's gonna make me angry. I let everything out.
Anytime
in there.
I get in the gym, you forget about everything that happened that day.
That's what's up. And you work. You have a full-time job.
Yeah.
Regular job. What do you do? What do you do for work?
I'm a union carpenter, so I build a lot of... Right now, I've been building a lot of schools the past couple of years. Schools and hospitals, stuff like that.
That's what's up. How did you get into that? Did you go to
I went to... So after high school, I went to... I don't know if you ever heard about Job Corps.
Yeah.
So I went to Shriver Job Corps, Fort Devens, Mass. Okay. And that's where... I mean, after high school... I tried to get into the Army, but I had a little problems with a court case.
Gotcha.
So they said I couldn't go to MEPS and take all the tests. So then I filed a motion to take it off my record. And then when I did that, I went back to the recruiter, and then they saw the tattoos on me. And then, which was stupid because my recruiter, the guy recruiting me, was all tattooed from his neck
guys.
down.
All military
So I was
guys.
like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I ended up a few years later, they would hit me up like, hey, you want to come? I'm like, nah, you rejected me the first time, bitch. And I'm all set.
And you already had something going on.
Yeah, and that would have been a big mistake.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happened, and I was just like, damn, what am I going to do? So I went to Job Corps just to, try to keep my parents off my back and try to stay, And I lived there all week, and I would come home on the weekends.
Oh, wow. That's how Job Corps is?
That's how Job Corps is. Like, so, yeah, because there's a lot of kids from all over. So Job Corps is for, like, a lot of, like, there's a lot of troubled youth at Job Corps. that a lot of the kids never graduated school and shit like that. Like, they get their GED there, they help them get their licenses and shit there. So, I mean, I never had that issue. Like, I graduated and I had my license and all that shit. So, I was a little ahead of the game than all these kids. But, yeah, I lived there, and it's different when you live in a place like that with kids like that. Like, you really have to...
You're out of your comfort zone, man.
You're not home. But I'm the type of person, like, I'm a chameleon. I can survive in any type of any way you put me. I could survive. So that's the one thing about me. So
you got that fighter spirit.
Job Corps, yeah. So I got into Job Corps. I knew I wanted to get into the carpenters union. So I went straight for the carpentry field that they had, and it was a wrap from there. A lot of people are there for a while, but I wanted to be quick. In and out. I think I did it in like 7-9 months, some shit like that. Like, it takes kids like 2 years, a year and a half to get through shit. I was just banging shit out. I was like, I do not want to stay here. I'm trying to get out, go home, and start my life. And then after I completed the whole process, the whole Job Corps thing, I found a job, because you can't leave Job Corps until you find a job first.
Okay.
So, because that's what it is. It's like
to help you.
It's a job placement type of place for kids. So I got a job, and then I applied for the union. So the instructor at the Job Corps is a part of the carpenters union.
Okay, so it's like a system.
Like a teacher. Yeah,
so it's like a system.
Yeah, so the UBC has so they have an apprentice program.
Okay.
Right, which if you're trying to get into the union, you have to go through the apprentice program, and then they have teachers there that are also
in the union.
They're also in the union, like they're in the field too, but they come and teach, and then so my instructor at Job Corps was a part of the union,
the teachers union too.
Yeah, so and he's in the field too, like he's in and out of the field, but yeah, I got cool with him. And he kind of led me in and helped me get in. And then actually, I realized after I was done the whole process, I realized that my business agent, so the person that gives you jobs when you get into the union, was one of my football coaches.
Oh, okay.
Back in high school. So
there was a
report found that out. Yeah. I already had his number, so I called him. Boom, he got me on a job right away. And
you've been doing that since?
I've been doing this for like 7 years now.
That's what's up. You like it or no?
I love it.
I can't wait to like.
Nah, I mean I love it. I've always had, like, my thing was I always wanted to build my own house. Okay. Like when I can. Like I've always had a dream of building my own.
You like hands-on stuff. You like working with your hands.
Yeah, and that's just how I've always been. I've always been, my uncles, my pops always fixing shit. So I always had that in me. But, it was just like boxing. It was just something that was just perfect. Once I got into it, I was money. And, so that's how I got into the union.
That's what's up.
I love it. I mean, a lot of people are like, yo, how do you work and do that? But, I mean, I've been doing it for so long now, and I feel like you couldn't start boxing before and then get into the union. Like, that would never work.
Yeah,
a boxer would never be able to do what a union carpenter does.
Yeah, so, no, and you got to pay the bills, right? Like,
yeah,
till you make it.
I mean, everybody got jobs.
That's what people don't understand. That,
yeah,
even these UFC fighters, like you might see them on TV.
The only people that can fight for a living are like kids that. Like rich. The Devin Haney's, the rich kids. Yeah. Like none of us lived like that around here. So we got to grind for everything, and that's the one thing that's how I grew up.
Ryan Garcia, David Haney, all these kids were just
privileged kids. Like none of us
just focus on boxing.
Yeah, none of us were privileged like that. So we got to grind for everything that we get.
That's what's up. That man. Listen, it's tough, and people don't see that part of they just see the lights and when you win, yay! But it's what it takes.
When you see the grind people that us local fighters or whatever do, you'll respect it more. Like I think about it every day. Like half the people that I know, most of the people I know, probably 95% of the people I know wouldn't last a week doing what I do. Getting up, and that's I don't say it to anybody, but I think about it all the time. Like, yo, I'm getting up mad early, working my balls off in the sun or whatever for 8 hours, and then going home, taking a shower, and going to the gym. Come back, doing it all over again every fucking day. And I take a rest when when I need it. But I mean, not a lot of people do that every day. But I see the bigger picture. I see, if I'm doing this now, I'm just setting myself up for something bigger later. I don't know what yet, but something.
And I mean, it shows the dedication that you have for boxing, because you're a competitor. You probably make okay money.
Yeah.
You probably
and that's the thing. Like right now, I could be making tons of money right now. So I'm really holding that back for this boxing shit because I love it so much. I think about it all the time. Like, yo, you know how much money I could be making right now just doing whatever and not just doing it. And like, the money will come in boxing. It's a patient game, but you got to set yourself up for it.
And you have to be willing to struggle for that.
Yeah.
I mean, like this business, like when I started this, I got like about 40 grand in here. It doesn't seem like it, but
this place is nice. You can tell you put a lot of money into this.
The rent was most of it, right? But I could have used that and go party and go on vacation and post it on the gram.
Exactly.
And everybody's like,
exactly. It's just
but you have a dream, you have a passion.
You said, everybody starts somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
it's a passion. That's what makes it. That's what's gonna make you feel like you're not working. You love what you do.
Exactly.
You love boxing.
Exactly.
So you'll probably do it for free. Like you don't want to do it for free,
it's that. It's obviously loving it too, but it's also like obviously the recognition you get from people. Like it feels good, at the end of the day. Because I was always known for being like a dickhead and like a shithead. So doing something good with it now, like. That drives me even more. Like before, people say my name, all it was trouble. So now it's like, I'm not that person anymore. You got to re-meet me.
That's what's up. Yeah, some people get stuck. The people that knew you from the past, sometimes they get stuck with that picture.
There's people who are still stuck on that picture, but I'm not here to change anybody's mind about me. Exactly. That's how I've always been. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's just how it is, and that's something that the sport teaches you. The sport can humble you.
Oh, that's any fighter. I love it. Yeah, fighters are some of the coolest people that you ever meet. And also, I always tell this to people, like, I don't give a that's why I said to you, like, I'm a fan first. Yeah. I didn't care if you showed up or not. I was still going to try to find a way to get into that fight.
Oh, yeah. So I got tickets for you, by the way, too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you got to do, that's what a lot of these boxers around here, I think they don't understand, is you have to do these for people, whether they're big or they're small. Yeah. Like, you have to connect with people because at the end of the day, these are the people that are going to support you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like I said, you got to be good to people in order for people to be good back. Sometimes, obviously, it ain't like that, but that's life. Everybody learns that. But, you get what you put in.
Exactly. That's the way to go about it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with fame? Because you are making a buzz, especially around here.
I ain't famous.
No, but you're gonna be there, and everybody knows you. Everybody sees your face, and everybody's like, oh, that's the boxer kid.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? And I know it's only in the beginning stages.
I mean, sometimes I feel what you mean, because like sometimes I won't even want to go anywhere if I know there's gonna be a lot of people because I just don't want to talk about boxing.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to just have a regular day with and that's why
forget about
I'm not.
It.
That's why I'm never out there. Anytime I'm with somebody, it's people that are close to me. Like I try to keep a close circle of people who actually know me, around me all the time. Like you rarely ever see me with somebody different, and it's because I know like the cool thing is to be around me right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Exactly.
And it's like so that's why I try to stay away from places, but. Sometimes, you want to go out and you feel good. People come out, you talk to people, but it's not always. I mean, sometimes, you got to take a break and, just chill. But I don't let it get to my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because in my mind, I've always been somebody that people looked up to in some type of way. So it's nothing different, and you can't overdo it, you know.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing. Like
It is.
For me, I started doing this, and it's out of the blue. I live here my whole life. You never heard of me before.
Right.
I've been here my whole life, but I've always been just focused on work.
Yeah.
I was, I'm an immigrant. My parents, I came here when I was like 10, 11. And I was high school was just focused on learning English and just figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
So now I was like, all right, well, I have a good job. I'm making okay money. What do I want to do? What do I like doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was like, all right, well, I like talking. I like listening to people. I like people telling stories. So I was like, you know what? There's not a. At least I didn't know at the time there was another podcast studio. There is another one now, but I didn't know at the time. So I was like, I gotta open on my own and start doing it by myself. Then that's when I started like talking to people and trying to interact with people. That's why I hit you up.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. It's all connections. You connect with people.
Exactly. And it's tough because people like, even with this, like people get super defensive or super like,
you gotta watch.
I don't know if it's jealous.
Yeah.
No, I don't watch. I'm the type of person I do not feel. I didn't prepare.
But that's how you should be if you get to be a person.
Yeah,
talking
I don't.
to other people.
I don't really care. Like, what I say, I stand on it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, but it is tricky just because people change. People start acting different. It's not so much yourself, is the people around you that all of a sudden started treating you different. For whatever reason, you're the same person, but somehow.
I haven't really had issues with that. Like I said, I've always been the type of person to keep close people around me.
Same crew basically from the beginning.
Same people. And I grew up in Drake and Lowell.
Okay.
So I went to high school in Drake. So that's why I just know so many people, because I just been on both sides of the fence. And it just
what feels right.
It just feels, like I said, I was just known, always been known. I've always had, I got a big family and shit like that. So I always ended up knowing somebody that knows somebody.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
When it comes to fighting outside of the city, like you had a fight in Miami, right? Florida?
St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a difference? Do you feel more pressure? Or is it the same to you? Don't matter.
Nah, I felt no pressure out there.
It's easier.
I felt no pressure. Yeah, it was easier. But well, I went out there, and Reyes was putting on a show with Fire Fist.
Yep.
And I brought so many fans out there that I ended up being the main event. So that was cool, but there was no pressure, cause this like around here you don't really get a lot of support where you're from. So when I went to Florida, the support I got was crazy from people that I didn't even know. Like my family was telling me they were driving by some place that had a poster of my face hanging out the side, and they were like, oh, like, that's my son or whatever. They were like, oh, we're going to the show just to see him.
That's what's up.
And these are people in Florida.
Yeah, no idea.
So and it was that happened a few times. There was a few people that were out there to see me that were from out there, and I don't know these people at all. So it's crazy the type of reach that I can get. Yeah, and that's just from the support that I get from people.
Yeah, I realized that too. Like usually, in the beginning anyway, most likely you will not get the support from the locals.
Yeah,
it usually takes. I don't know why that is, but it's typical from everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna take me to get on ESPN or something.
Then everybody comes around. Yeah,
or have a Gotti Ward fight. Or something like that, but. It is what it is. I
kind of like it better. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, man, if I could do this podcast and not have nobody know
what you're doing.
Yeah, like, just promote it somewhere outside of it.
Well, and sometimes it's easier to promote like that because, like, the thing is with me, is putting yourself out there is kind of different.
Yeah,
like,
it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. but because people talk, but you gotta learn
not give a fuck.
To not give a fuck,
Yeah,
right?
basically.
And there's so many people that just made it doing like even stupid shit.
Yeah.
That not even giving a fuck, and that's how you have to be, because in this world where we're this big in a giant universe, bro. Nothing that we do. We're
very
here for
long,
a very
short time,
short period of time, and at the end of the day, it doesn't. No one's gonna. I always think like, oh, people think about it all the time, but like, and then I think about someone doing something stupid, and I forget about it the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
everybody's so caught up into like me.
Yeah.
You think everybody sees it that way, but
And when it's like that, when you have everybody wanting your attention and shit, it feels like that times 2. So I just learned to just not give a fuck, whatever.
Follow your dreams and do whatever you want to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't live for other people,
and that's
right?
why I support everybody that is following their dreams. Anytime someone's doing something, sorry, you got a coaster or something. I'm getting water all over that.
Nah,
but
don't worry about it.
Yeah, anytime someone's doing something, I'm always gonna support.
Yeah, that's the pretty much the energy that I'm attracted to. So pretty much, I just look at anybody around the area, or whoever I can reach, who's doing something, because I want that energy. That's the energy I want around me. I'm like, who's doing something? Who's not just sitting around waiting for shit? Who's actually out here striving to get something? That energy, that shit's contagious. I don't give a fuck. Like every time I see somebody from the city doing something, I don't think of it like, oh, this motherfucker. I still look at him like, fucking yes, let's do it.
Dope. But,
exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot. You know how it is, and that's like when they get the folk festival and shit like that. Every time I stay away, because you put in all these people that have ill will against each other, that haven't seen each other in years, and all of a sudden, it's just like
shit pops off.
Yeah, it's a bad look. But that's how it is. That's why I try to spread as much positivity as possible. Especially within the youth. All these kids. Trying to just be a good role model for them. Because I know the type of shit that I seen when I was a kid, doesn't reflect on how I am as a man today, but there's not a lot of people mentally strong as I am. So that's what it is, just trying to be a good person, straight up, dude.
That's the key thing for anybody. And also, if you're going to be putting yourself in the lights, right? You got to be yourself, because if not, you're going to point it out as the phony dude who's lying and making shit up.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So I always tell people, like, look, if you come in here, if you come to the podcast, the best advice I could give you is be yourself.
Be real, yeah.
Because people, whether you think it or not, people are watching. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And the minute
they
you
can
say
pick it out, and they'll pick it out.
The minute you say it, they might not comment on nothing else. Everything might be positive. Everything could be cool. That one little thing that you lied, you'll see it on the comments. So I always tell people, like, just be yourself, man. That's the best advice I could give you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with, like, because I'm sure I did it. I'm part of the out of those people trying to get you to do stuff, trying to, hey, come on here, come show here.
Yeah, I got you.
How do you deal with that? Because some people are sensitive. Me and you had the conversation in the comments.
Nah, I'm cool with it. I love, people can have fun, smoke, drink, whatever. I can be around it, but it doesn't really affect me. I'm not a drinker.
Gotcha.
So, I do, like, I'll social drink, like, whatever. And it's got to be a certain vibe too. I'm not going to drink just at some random whatever with a bunch of people. Like,
you don't know,
maybe if we're at a restaurant or whatever, it's different, but I'm not going to be, I don't go to the club and just get drunk or whatever. I'm not like that. But like if we're having people in here or whatever, taking a couple shots, whatever, having fun. But I never really feel pressured. Nah, just people usually know what's up. Like,
what about people trying to get you to, like, do podcasts or do like a show come to an event and you can't do it, or you have to say no? Do you get pressure into, like?
Nah, not really. And like I said, anytime somebody supporting me, I'm gonna support back. Yeah. So anytime, no matter how big or small, if somebody wants to sit down and talk, I would love it, because as much as it helps you, it helps me.
Exactly.
Nah, there's no pressure. But because I always try to give, it's like I said, just being a decent dude. You know what I mean? You're gonna get what you put in. So. there's no pressure there, and like I said, I talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter to me. As long as there's good intentions behind it.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, that's
set myself up for something crazy.
That's the most important part, intention. Like, what are you trying to get? I always tell people, look, I don't mind getting used. I don't want to get misused.
Right.
If you can't be used, then you're useless, right?
Exactly.
So I always tell people,
and you got to be smart enough to know the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It comes with the game. It comes with, just
having
going
eyes
through it
on you and all this shit. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. We got about an hour. I don't want to take too much more
that
time.
Was an hour? I didn't even feel like it, bro.
Yeah, it was quick. EDJ Studios, the EDJ podcast. Gabriel, the fucking menace. Check him out. August 11th
in Quincy, Massachusetts. We putting on a show. It's outside for the first time. We're fighting outside.
Oh, it's outside.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's at a football stadium.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
it's gonna be fun.
So it's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good show. A lot of good people there. A lot of good new eyes. Yeah, definitely ready to put on a performance and show people that I'm comfortable in there. Now I'm ready to take over.
Where can people get tickets, just in case people want to know?
I got tickets, and then I'll send you a link too if you want to put it in a link.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a little confusing, but select your seats. You can put in Gabriel Morales in the fighter code if you want to support. I get a little percentage of that. But yeah, I mean, I get a lot of support, and I'm grateful for it from everybody, my sponsors, my family. My friends, everyone ever since I got into the sport has been supportive. So I couldn't do it without any of them.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. Let's keep it going, man.
And people like you, bro. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it without dudes that want to put their time into us, into me.
Yeah, I want to get to. I know you fight with a few other dudes, and I've been in contact with all of them.
Yeah.
So hopefully I get to get them all in here at some point.
Yeah.
And I'll do my best to promote whatever way I can. If you guys have any fights coming up, or you got something to say,
yeah, definitely. I got a couple people that after they see this, I would probably love to spend some time with you. So it'll be good.
Thank you.
All right, partnership, bro.
EDJ Studios, EDJ Podcast. Thank you.